Hey, what's up, guys? Theo here. Welcome to another video in our design pattern series here in TypeScript. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the adapter pattern. The adapter pattern is basically when we want to take two similar classes that have more or less overlapping functionality, but one of the classes isn't in a complete mold or one-to-one fit. And basically, we want to go ahead and create an adapter which is going to sort of sit as the intermediary layer between the two, and it's going to massage the data into the class that sort of we want to achieve in a more clean way. So going back to the example of the employee, we're going to look at an employee class and a contractor class. So we're going to implement these. So first I'm going to build out two interfaces here, and I'm going to say iEmployee, and we're just going to create one method on here that we want to be sort of part of this contract. And an iEmployee is just going to have a get years worked method, and this is just going to return to us a number. Okay, so that's our interface right there. And now we want to go ahead and stub out our class for this employee. So we want to say implements, and we're going to say iEmployee. Okay, and it's going to say, hey, it's not implemented. We're going to go ahead and stub out that method and get years worked, and that's good. But let's go ahead and build out our CTOR, and I'm just going to say metadata, and I'm just going to stub this out inside of the constructor here, and I'm going to have it be years worked, and it's just going to be a number. And basically right here, I'm going to create this, which is going to be private years worked number, and then we're going to say this dot years worked equals metadata dot years worked. Okay, and let me see actually if I can wrap this in a required. Okay, so it's just more syntactic sugar. You can sort of see what it is. It's just basically ensuring that you pass in these props. And anyways, so that's that. And then here we will actually go ahead and return back this dot years worked. So that's our employee class, really simple, as it should be. And finally, we're going to build out another interface right here. It's going to be called iContractor. And because we're going off the assumption that, sort of arbitrary example, but we're going to implement a method called get hours worked instead of years because they're hourly. And again, this is just going to be a number. And then you're going to sort of see how we're going to massage this. So we're going to build out a class called contractor, and we're going to have it implement iContractor. Okay, and we're going to stub this out again. Here we go. Get hours worked, and then we're going to have our CTOR, and here we go. Same sort of deal here. We're going to have a required of, here's going to be hours worked number. Okay, and we don't need a super here, but what we need to do here is write private hours worked number, and then here we want to implement we just need to return this dot hours worked. Okay, so that's that. We have our contractor, we have our employee, right? And now we need to, basically we want to take this contractor. So say we have a sort of a map of employees, right? So say we have const employee list, which is going to be a list of employees, right? Something like that. And let's list of employees. And basically we want to do something like this, right? We can say, we'll say employee one, and we'll just say a new employee, and we need to give it years worked. We'll say 5, and we'll go ahead and create another employee right here. Employee 2, years worked 6, and we'll just say, let's break this out into here. Employee 1, employee 2, employee 2. And so we can sort of see that this is indeed in a list of employee here. But what happens if we go ahead and we create a contractor, which is a new contractor, and we want to say hours worked, and we're just going to say 2080 to represent he's worked a year, because generally that's how many hours someone works on an 8-hour shift in a year, at least in the United States. So you can sort of see, obviously, we try to add contractor 1, we're going to get an error, missing the following properties, years worked, get years worked. So how can we take this contractor and mold it into, so what we can do is we can create a contractor adapter, and what this will do is it will actually take in a contractor, and what we can do sort of here is just say, so basically the real overlap here is implements. We can just say I employee. Okay, and now what we can sort of do inside of this is we can create our get years worked method, right? And now what we'll do is we want to store a reference to our contractor, and private contractor. Oh, sorry, private contractor is a contractor. I'm thinking of like C# now. Private contractor, and we just say this contractor equals contractor. Okay, that's that, and we can sort of see now. Here's our contractor, const employee 3 is a new contractor adapter of contractor 1. So we can sort of see what are we actually getting. We're getting a contractor adapter, and so we're still getting an error because we don't have the years worked property. But what we can do is we can say what we want to do is say we want to take this dot years work, or sorry, this return this dot contractor get hours worked, and then we want to basically divide that by 2080, right? And that'll give us the amount right there. And then years worked is missing in the contractor adapter. And what we'll say is private years worked number, and we'll say this dot years worked equals, I'll just throw this logic up in here. Okay, and then finally we'll return this dot years worked. So now let's see, not assignable types of separate declarations of property years worked, and then let me think. Actually, you know what? Let me say extends employee versions. Let me see, I might have messed it up here. Constructor super metadata, and then we're gonna say, and then we'll say years worked contractor 1 dot hours worked, and let me get rid of this, and then let's see, contractor 1, and then yeah, this will take a contractor, which is a contractor, and then we'll say contractor, and now we'll see we're actually getting a contractor adapter, but this is, and we're just gonna say 2080, right? And if we open up our terminal here, let me just change this to like, what would this be? I'll just do it times 3, and we should be getting 3 years back. Sorry, PWD ts node adapter. All right. And oh yeah, we're not logging out the employee list. So let's just log out. We'll just do this. We'll say employee list dot for each employee, and then we'll just sort of console.log. Let me just do this. Okay, so let's run that, and we'll just see what we're getting. So we can sort of see we have 2 employees, years worked, employee years worked 5, contractor adapter, years worked is not a number. And why is it not a number? Let me see. Get hours worked. Get years worked. Return this to years worked. And let me see. Contractor adapter. Contractor 1, 2080 divided by 3. Let me see. Why is it not contractor adapter? Let me look at the employee. Log employee 3, and just make sure I'm not crazy here. Okay, so years worked is not a number. Let me just change this to 5 just to see. Hours worked 2080. Get hours worked. Return this to hours worked. Oh, sorry, I didn't implement this in here. So we need to say this dot hours worked equals metadata dot hours worked. All right. And now we're getting years worked is 3, 2080 times 3, right? 6, right? We should be getting back 6. And let me log out. And then we'll say console.log employee 3 instance of employee. True, there you go. So you can see that employee 3 is an instance because this contractor adapter class is extending the class, so it's inheriting it, and we're calling super on the base class, which is employee. So you can sort of see how there we were able to massage our data and take 2 similar classes, the contractor and employee, and sort of build out this very simple adapter that basically just massages this get hours worked property to suit better the years worked. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I kind of like this pattern. I might implement it a little bit at work. Yeah, I hope you guys, like I said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.